Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. But I have a feeling you guys can't hear me. Can you hear me? Let me know. I'm having all kinds of issues. So please let me know. Today is April 15th, 2026, as I'm coming to you live. Please tell me if you can hear me. I'd love to know if my sound is working. I hope so, because it's showing that I'm connected to my iPods or whatever, with those AirPod things that stick in your ears. Oh, good. Okay, good. It's so weird. So that, and then the other tech problem that I was having right before. So last night when I was scheduling this live, it said it didn't go through, so I scheduled a second one, and I thought I deleted the correct one, but I think I deleted the one that you guys were connected to, and I couldn't connect to you. Oh, you can't hear me. Oh my goodness. Oh, but someone else hears me fine. Cindy, go out and come back in, because there's other people that are saying that they can. Not that you can hear me say that, but go out and come back in. Loud and clear. Awesome. So I think that's what the glitch was, is I was on the wrong one and you guys were on the right one, and I had already deleted the wrong one or the right one from my app. And anyways, it is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026 at 11 a.m. and we are going to start. We have a kit altering type of video today. We're going to take a Kits Collection kit from Stampin' Up! Painted Skies. It's beautiful. You're going to love it. And we're going to alter it. Not that you'd want to, because these cards are amazing as is, but that's what Rachel does. She likes to create something different with it. And oftentimes with kits, she likes to double or triple. We're going to double this kit because I could not stand cutting some of this stuff in half. Like, you just need to have whole pieces of some of this stuff. It's amazing. Thank you, Debbie. So let's dive in. Let me think of what I need to tell you. Well, first of all, let me introduce you to Trisha Josephs. If you're new to my channel, Trisha is my moderator. She is here to help answer questions. That's the biggest thing. She guides you in the right direction. There is a description. I believe I put it in there. I hope so. A description in this video that has links to everything that you would possibly need. A link to the blog post, which I also had to change the video link inside. Anyways, it was I'm so sorry I'm late. Okay, anyways, but she's here to guide you to that area, to answer questions that you may have. She's here to help you out. She's my friend. I love her. Thank you so much, Trisha, for being with us. And yes, for the reminders, thank you for the reminders about following me on social media. This is my blog post, my blog, if you'd like to follow me on my website. This is where I connect my videos. So if you want to, you can subscribe to my blog posts. You can go to videos and then click on links within my descriptions to get to my blog, but it's where I house everything. It's my home. So you should be able to find everything that you need there. Painted Skies was made available couple weeks ago. It was one of the April 2026 Kits Collection releases, so it's fairly new, and I just couldn't wait. I had to dive right into it. It's also, it works really well with a set of papers that are going to be debuting on May 5th. So if you like this kit, you're going to love the suite that's coming up. I can't think of anything else. Let's just dive in, shall we? Let me bring it to the desktop, but I have to grab my stuff here because I left it over here thinking I was going to have time to swipe it over to my main desk before we got started, but lots of things happened. Anyways, all right, so let's go down to the desktop, shall we? This is the kit that we are going to play with. Look at those cards, you guys. So there are 3 of 3 different kinds that you can make, and these are trifold cards. Let me show you a base from the trifold. So this is what it looks like. And then you fold this part in. I know, gorgeous, right? And it goes like this, boink, boink. And then you have your lots of space to write on the inside. There's like sentiment pieces. There's all kinds, because this is one of those kits that does not include stamps. So you could definitely buy several of these because you don't have to worry about collecting too many stamp sets that are the same, right? So then we have these sentiments, and you have 3 sets of these because you're going to make 3 different cards, right? or three of three different cards. So you have 3 sheets so that you can get 9 sentiments. You have 9 card bases. Obviously, this is one style that you get to make 3 of. And then there are other pieces that go with it, such as this little frame part that you can punch out. So this piece here actually gets lifted up on dimensionals so that it has kind of a shadowy frame type look to it. You have envelopes that come with the kit. You have embellishments, and the cards are just stunning. So you have little embellishments here, and then we have like all of these dimensionals. You get all of these like stick type dimensionals to add the frames, and then you have these smaller ones to add your words. The last couple pieces are things like this. Now we're gonna alter it. We're gonna take the pieces from this kit, and let me show you, first of all. Okay, I'm gonna move these out of the way because we're gonna be using them, and they are all set to go. But I wanna show you the base supplies of all of this that I'm not gonna punch out, but again, you get 3 times, 3 times, you get frames, 3 of each of these. So there's ones for different ones. You get 9 envelopes. You get all these card bases. I already showed you that one. And then this is another one with little ocean waves. And the last one is with a lighthouse. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some creating. So the first thing that I like to do when I create is I toss these directions aside. In fact, I don't even think I opened them up, you guys. I know, I just love to create. So we're gonna move that off to the back here, grab our trimmer. And if we're going to double the cards in the kit, what we wanna do is add extra cardstock, because to double the cards in the kit, you have to create more card bases that you can put these pieces onto. So I'm gonna go ahead and score this down the middle at 4 1/4 inches. This is our 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. We're using this side of the paper to check to see that we're in the right spot. We put our paper flush to the top. Then we bring our light blade and press to create a score line. We're gonna turn in this direction, and we're gonna cut at 5 1/2 inches because that's half of 11. So now we have 2 card bases. For 3 of our card bases, so what we're doing is we're gonna take the supplies for 3 kit cards, 1 of each of those styles, and we're gonna double them. So we're gonna get 6 cards from 3. So for 3 of our card bases of the 6, we're gonna just fold like this. And for the other ones, we're gonna score at a very specific spot, because you'll see when we get to them, but we're gonna score at just over 2 inches. And it doesn't matter which side you come in from, because this score line here is still, it's in the middle no matter what, right? So we're gonna score at just over 2. So we go to the 2-inch mark, and we're gonna just go one little spot over the 2 inches. So it's 2 1/16 if you wanna be accurate about it. And we're gonna put our score line in there. When we fold this back, because we're doing a Z fold, when we fold this back, what we see here is 1/8 of an inch of cardstock right along here. Do you see that? There's 1/8 of an inch showing right along that left edge. Let's grab our bone folder and give this a good crease. I think I'm finally past the part where I'm a little stressed out. Boy, do I get stressed when I am late, you guys. I don't like being late for you. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for finding the new video if you were on the first one. And thanks for trying to search if you were a subscriber to my blog post, because this blog post came out with the wrong link in it. So hopefully you found it. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is take our card bases that look like this from the kit, and we're gonna cut them into 3 parts, right where the score lines are. So for this one, it's actually, and you'll be confused if I don't share this with you, but do you see how it's a little short on the inside there? It's not quite 4 1/4 inches, which is the width of the whole card, because we have to be able to fold this over the top. So this here is 4 1/8. So we're gonna score at 4 1/8. I'm sorry, cut at 4 1/8. And then we're gonna cut at this score line, which should give us 2, like this whole piece here is 8.5 inches. Okay, so this should be scored at 4 1/4, no matter which side you go in from. Okay, so now we have 3 pieces. These 2 pieces we're gonna use first. We're gonna put those over here. This one here, we're gonna cut one more time. So when we have our 4 1/8 piece by 5 1/2 in front of us, we're gonna put it upright in our trimmer and we're gonna cut just under 2 inches. So you remember before we scored at just over 2 inches? I'm gonna zoom in. Now we're going to, so we were just over 2 inches before. Now we're gonna cut at just under. So it's 1 15/16. Thank you, you guys. So we're cutting there. And this is gonna go with our Z-fold card. So we're gonna set that aside with our Z-fold base. And we're actually taking this piece and we're gonna cut that one more time too. Let me do that. This one actually goes with the Z-fold. We're gonna cut this one at 4 1/8. Okay, so here's our 4 inches, 4 1/8. And then we're gonna cut this at 5 1/4. Bring that over so you can see better. 5 plus 1/4 inch. And that's gonna go with the Z-fold card. This one here is connected to this frame. We're gonna use the frame with it. We're actually gonna use the part that you discard with the frame. So that's gonna go out here. Thank you, you guys. And then we're gonna use our envelope. I didn't think I was gonna use the envelope, but I decided I needed more white textured paper. The paper that comes with this kit has a slight texture to it, kind of like a canvas, a painted canvas. It's amazing, the feel. So we wanna open it up to create more white paper, more kit white paper. By the way, can you hear my window? I have the window open, or I should say, can you hear outside? I have the window open because it is a marvelous day here in Minnesota. I'm gonna cut here. Now, if you don't have a sharp blade, don't cut right on score lines, cut just to the, right or left of it, but we wanna separate this piece from this piece. And then this is the one that we're gonna work with. We're gonna separate the flap, but we wanna measure this to exactly 4 1/4 inches to exactly 5 1/2 inches. So the size that you would have on the front of a card. The reason why I chose this one to go with this card over here, and I cut this one down, which was actually the same size originally, right? Is because this is cardstock and this is paper. This is thicker, this is thinner, and this card that's gonna be over here is gonna have a lot more layers to it. So I figure the lighter weight piece goes over here, but you could choose to go either way. These 2 pieces we aren't using. You can, in fact, you can use them as practice, which is what I did to figure out my technique. Let's see if I can find that piece in the garbage. Should be in here somewhere. I used that piece, here it is, to practice on. We're gonna be doing some artwork. Easy artwork though, okay? So if you need to, you can hang on to those. Otherwise, you have other white cardstock you can use for something else. Let's just set that back here for now. And I think I'm gonna bring all these pieces in. I think we're ready to roll. There they all are. They're all prepared. See how fast I did that? Every single piece is ready. So we're gonna do the Z-fold second. Let's start with these guys here. Move those over here. I need this piece. Okay, so for the first 3 cards, we're gonna need these little doodads. There's only 2 of them. We're gonna need the lightweight one that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're gonna need the laser cut piece, and we're gonna need the frame plus the frame insert, which is gonna go on the inside of the card just because it's cool. So we'll do that with all 3 of these. Let's start with this one, might as well. I think this is the one where the frame is slightly larger, but all the other ones aren't. So you see that? You can see like the frame back here, it extends inward. The rest of them are exact. So we're gonna do some artwork. We're gonna take and grab our blending brushes, and it's easy artwork, I swear to God. So if you're like worried and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this, you can. You totally can. You need either Stampin' Up! Masking paper. So Stampin' Up! Masking paper is like really strong Post-it notes. Okay. Let me grab one of those out of there. And then you just cut it to the size you need. And we don't need a really long one because we know that we can kind of behave when we color. So I'm only going to cut about 1 3/4 inches, but you could even go less if you want to. You just need enough so that you can mask either the top or the bottom. Another thing that you can use is like a giant Post-it note, something that extends beyond the 3 inches. So you could use, you know, something with a sticky edge like a Post-it note. Either one will work. Then we're going to set this down onto our paper. And for our, and I'm just going to look at my finished ones. For our wave one, I'm going to have my, my sky a little bit shorter because I want my wave area to be under the line of the water, the line of the horizon, I should say. So for this, you just kind of like brush the little end here until you can get it going to separate, and that might take a little minute. So there we go. Then you use your grid paper, and it doesn't matter if you're on the centimeter side or the inches side, but you just kind of estimate where you want to be. You press your masking paper or your sticky note along that line so that you have a straight line going across, okay? It's really strong when you first get it, so just note that you're gonna have to peel slowly, but this also helps hold it in place. Then you take blending brushes or sponges or daubers, something, and 3 inks is all I used. There's many ink colors, or colors I should say, in the designs of the cards, but I used 3. I was gonna just use 2, but I used 3. So we're gonna start with crushed curry. And if you want to even, you can kind of like figure out where a sunshine would be. I believe on my finished card, I made my sunshine up high, but on this one, I'm gonna make my sunshine a little lower. So I'm gonna start down here as if it's a setting sun. And it's intense, okay? Lots of color there. And you just go around in circles. It's the easiest kind of artwork painting that you'll ever do. Super easy. You just go like this along that whole edge. And notice I'm not going below this mark here, okay? So whatever size masking paper you think you need is what you can grab. And then if you want to, you can add more, or we can switch to another color. So let's do that really quickly. Move on to the Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo is a nice pink color that they also have that coordinates with this kit. So then you can come in and you can do things like this. And don't worry about that dark edging. You see that dark edging that's happening there on the actual cardstock? It's gonna be covered up because you have a frame piece that's gonna go around this. So feel free to get really intense on the edges. Come in there, add a little bit of pink to the sky, blend the yellow and the pink together to make an orangey color. Okay, all right. Then let's move on to the bottom half. Now this is where you have to peel slowly, and I recommend kind of going at a nice angle like this. It kind of takes care of the paper a little bit better if you're going kind of at a really sharp angle to peel it away. Go slowly. We don't want any ripping or tearing of that. That was tearing of the masking paper, not the paper. Boy, wouldn't that be fun? Let's just add some, you know, like issues like that too, Rachel. This is just the masking paper. Okay, hang on. Oh, I need my reading glasses. Maybe this part is under a wave too and we won't notice it. But I just have to grab that little piece. Here it comes. Again, any tearing kind of paper on the surface, whether it's this or the actual surface of the paper, is going to cause you issues. So get rid of that. Have it stick to your finger or something. Okay, we're going to put that aside. And now we're going to take, we'll just do a Post-it note here, because then we'll have 2 different colors. And then you can just use that line that's on your card already. You could also use your grid paper lines to help guide you, but we just want to cover the top part now, and we're going to come in with Blueberry Bushel. I chose a dark color because I figured that with a dark color, you can always go lighter. With a light color, it's going to take a lot more work to go darker and darker and darker. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start intensely at the top, which is where your deepest color would go anyways, especially away from the sun. That's where some nice deep color will be. And then in this area, you could even go a little bit lighter coming through this zone, because that area is where the sun is possibly reflecting on the water, right? So you go swirly, swirly, swirly. And do you see how there's like a little bit of like textured look to it? Because it's a darker color, it's not going to be as smooth when you're swirling it on. But that's okay, because this is water, and the water texture-y paper almost makes it look like waves. Did you remember seeing that sample paper I showed you down here on the floor? Do you see that? I thought that was pretty darn cool to get all of that in there. And that was just by swirling my blending brush. Okay, come in through here. We'll do a little bit more intense over on this side. And you can do intense all the way. Like you could make this super dark all the way across if you want to. Look at, that's where it's stuck. And then through here, right below the sun, you can have that light reflection coming on the water, right? All right, let's see what this looks like. So super easy to be an artist with blending brushes and Post-it notes. Isn't that gorgeous? And then look what happens when we put this on there. Ta-da! All right, let's do the next one. So the next one, we have a lighthouse. And for the lighthouse, let's do this one again here. For the lighthouse one, I went about halfway. So I'm just gonna lay this on here so I see grid lines, and I'm gonna go about halfway up. So there's one sticky note edge there, and peel it up. This is slightly stickier than Post-it note paper, you guys. Okay, does that look pretty good? It's tilted. Hang on. I should have just used Post-it note paper. But this will definitely protect your paper from getting, let's do this. Let's put a little temporary adhesive back there. Hold it in place from moving. And now I can just eyeball and come straight down. Halfway. Okay. Oh, and this is the top, because we're doing the sun. Let's go. Oh my goodness, Rachel. You know what? I'm just flustered today. I'm so sorry. This is going to be our sun, right? So this is our yellow color. It helps to have two different colors of your Post-it note or sticky note, because, stay down. Because that way, in case there's any color that wants to move on you, let's see, that's about halfway right there. If there's any color that wants to move on you, it might come off of your shiny Post-it note paper or your sticky masking paper or something. For this one, same thing. You could start down here. You could also start up in the corner. You could have your sunshine already intense in the sky and coming through there like this. So it could be wherever you want, that sunshine, the source of light. Let me come in with the pink again. So this way I can show you the difference between the two. Then we can come in with some pretty pinks coming through. So this could be a morning sunrise color, right? Instead of a sunset color, either way. And then the last one is the water. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the water on this. And then we will switch. I won't do the third one because it's taken too long and I already wasted like 15 minutes just trying to get on the live. So we'll go here, but you'll get the idea of it, right? So for the water, for this one, I think I went, let's see, where's my sun? Right there. So we want to have darkest over here and have a little reflection coming through there on the water surface, right in that spot. Okay. We also have kind of a rocky surface here. Do you see this on this laser cut piece here? There's a slightly rocky surface here. So if you don't get any color underneath there, that's totally fine too. I think I'm actually going to go all the way across because the sun is not directly connected with the horizon here. So we're just going to have intense blue all the way across on that horizon. And we can leave it light down there. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so a couple different ways. Let's go ahead and finish up one of these cards. Let's do the lighthouse one. So the next step that you're gonna take is to add, check your fingers, looks like I have some ink on me. You're gonna add this piece with regular adhesive. You can use seal, you can use glue, whatever. I always say this, floats your boat, but this really applies to this kit. R. Check to see what the front of your card is. This is, okay, and then line it all up, edge to edge, corner to corner. That's probably the hardest part of this whole project, is making sure that those things line up really well. Hang on a minute. I do not want to get ink on my projects where they shouldn't be, so I'm going to grab a little alcohol wipe, tidy up. You guys ever have to do that? Wash your hands while you're crafting? Okay, next. I'm going to close up this ink pack because I think we're done with the swirly whirlies. Put that over here. Let's move on with this piece. Now, if you want to, you can stamp on your card. I did not choose to stamp. Instead, I chose an ephemera pack called Greetings for All. It's an amazing sentiment ephemera pack that I think everybody should own because it makes for quick cards. And it looks like, it doesn't come in this case, but I like to put them in these cases, but it looks like this. You have 6 sheets, 2 that have these words on it, 2 that have these words, and 2 that have these words. So we're going to grab from our stash Best Wishes, and we're going to have that on the front of the card. This piece is next, and this piece is going to go on with, I want to see how I did this, with dimensionals. So we're going to flip this over, and we're going to use the kit dimensional pieces, these little stick pieces like this. I'm going to grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut a couple of these in half. So the longer ones are going to go here, and then I'm going to do a couple shorter ones. So I'll cut this one in half to go here and here. So what is the purpose of that? Why don't I do the whole length? Well, because I'm also going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece. And for that one, I'm going to take that 4th one and I'm going to cut it into little tiny squares. And those squares are going to go in the corners of the frame that sits on top. When I peel off the backings of all this and assemble it, these pieces will not interfere with each other and the card will be 1-dimensional high at the most. It's not going to be 2 dimensionals high, it'll be 1-dimensional high. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm putting this one down and I'm lining it up again. And that's always hard to do when you're doing a video, but I think I did it. Then this piece here will go on top, also lining up with the frames. So you see where that dimensional is there? And these two here? When I squish my card flat, it's only 1 dimensional thick. This will help to go through the mail a little bit easier. You won't have to pay as much in postage. The card base color, I did forget to mention that. Thank you so much. This is Night of Navy. So for this card, I did take the tiny little, let me find that. Here they are. This pink one. And I put that one up onto a dimensional piece. I think I used the side ones for that. So I just stuck that in the middle, peeled that away, slipped that between these 2 layers here and made it attach to the white one that was underneath. So it's also 1 dimensional high. It's connected on top of that piece there. Do you see that? And then this, I just added a little bit of seal, or you could put glue to the back side, but not too high. And I stuck that here. This one I kind of like the color intensity on better. But that's how you can complete those cards, is you can make regular cards with them and just do your own colored background so that you still have really deep color. If you don't want to get artsy with the coloring, another option is just to take your pieces from here and ignore the envelope. That way you can use your whole envelope. You can put this on here and this on here, so you still have that shadow look. Let me see if I can pull that away. You still have that shadow look there, which gives it some more depth. And then you have that kind of a card instead, which is totally great too. The laser cuts really, pop on that dark Night of Navy cardstock. So that's another option. This can still go on the inside. You've salvaged your envelope so you can use it, and then all you would need to do is add in some, like, what would it be? If we're tripling or doubling the kit, 9 times 2 is 18. You just need 9 more envelopes, okay? All right, so that's that. Let me show you the other 2 versions of this card. This one is my happy birthday card. So that's what I chose for the sentiment with the waves. And remember, the waves are higher on this one. And then this is the one that I did for the palm trees. And I added some sequins up here because my words were down here and the sky just needed a little something. And I only had so many sequins that I could use. When you look at the sequin sheet, you have 3 times 5, you have 15 large, and you have 20 of the small ones. I've used up a third of them. So really, you're gonna have 5 plus 6. You're gonna have 11 sequins to use on these 6 different cards. That doesn't give you a lot for every card. You can add in extra sequins. You can totally do that, but I didn't want to make the cards more expensive by adding an extra sequins. So instead, I just chose ink colors that I thought were gonna be pretty background colors and some blending brushes. If you already have a stash of ink, you can choose from those ink colors. It does not have to be the same. In fact, your card base could even be white or black or something basic like that. If you don't have Night of Navy, makes the cards even less expensive to duplicate, to double that kit. For the sentiments, you could stamp them if you have some stamps nearby or whatever. But let me show you what I did for that. I took the sentiment that said, and I might not be able to find the same one. Oh, here it is, Sending Sunshine. That was one of my white background sentiments. And I took my blending brushes and I just took and added a little yellow on one side. This is crushed curry, by the way. A little flirty flamingo on the other side. And I think I did top and bottom, but I'm doing side to side on this one. Let me just ink that up a little bit more. It needs more. It needs more. But basically, you end up getting something like that. Okay, you've changed your white background to something more colorful, and it really pops on your card by doing something like that. And that's what I did. And I just put it up on dimensionals there. So there is that third one. 1, 2, well, we have 4 now because I finished one completely. Okay, let's put those over here. And let's go on to the next card. So the next style card is not using any extra ink. In fact, no ink at all. But this is where math comes into play. So you're gonna get a little fancy on your math. We're gonna take those pieces that we cut, and I don't remember which one it was. Was it this one here? I think it was this one. Okay, so we're gonna add this cut piece to our fun fold card. This one here, we're gonna add right in this spot, so you can go ahead and add your adhesive edge to edge, corner to corner. The whole thing could be stuck on there, but you're gonna line it up with the left edge so that you see 1/8 of an inch. Can you see that? 1/8 of an inch here. You're gonna see 1/8 of an inch of the background paper, the base paper, on the right side. Okay, there we go. So we see 1/8 of an inch here. We see 1/8 of an inch over here when we flatten it down, and that frames it, right? You have that 1/8 of an inch framing on both sides. Thank you so much, Barbara. And then this piece, we want to stay connected with our image because there was no way I was gonna cut this in half. Where would you cut it in half? Right through the sun? Would one side get a sun and one side not get a sun? It was tragic for me to consider cutting this in half. So instead, we're going to add this to the inside so that our image connects like that. Do you see this 1/8 of an inch over here? That's because this piece, remember, was 4 1/4, but look at that. See, there's another 1/8 of an inch. So we're gonna connect this in that spot. This can go all the way to the edge, but this one can't go all the way to the edge because it's going to extend over just slightly here. So be really careful not to put your adhesive right up to that edge. Then you can lay this down here. So if you got the measurements down for this, then you don't have to worry about anything else, right? By the way, I have a PDF connected to this blog post too. So when you click on the blog post and you go over to that blog post, you can download the PDF that gives you all the measurements, photos of the finished cards, and supply list that's clickable, the date, the name of the video, and all of that. So this piece here, it's not cut like we normally cut that. This is 5 1/4 up here, and this was only 4 1/8. I didn't cut it to 4 inches. I cut it to 4 1/8 because I want this side to jam into here to give us that 1/8 inch all the way here. Plus, it's going to kind of bring into play this 1/8 inch over here. Does that make sense? So that way you don't have this huge, big gap right through the middle. It's more even Steven. So I'm going to set that in there like that, making sure I can close my card. I'm going to do that again. This is why I use adhesive that is tape, so that I can readjust it. In fact, I'm going to trim up a 1/16 of an inch on one side because I think it was a little too big for my card base. Sometimes you have to do that, right? Okay, now let's jam it in there. Oh, that looks so much more even. Okay, now we have that little even frame going around there. Then we bring in those words. So the little tiny words that came with the kit, this is where you can use those. So what I did is I closed this up, and you see how we have that extra white edge there? It looks kind of fancy, doesn't it? I like it. This can go straight on here, but centered between where this edge meets the paper and where this white edge meets or ends, okay? Just center it right in there. And I kind of made it even with the horizon a bit. So stuck it down like that. Then I took my little embellishments and I added, what did I do here? I did a big one and a small, and then I did another big one over here. So there is that finished card. So you see the sentiment when you open it and when you close it. Let me show you the finished versions of the other ones. They look like this. So here's this one. Same thing. Open it up and you see the whole scene. And then the last one has a long sentiment, but it has the word celebrate on the end, which I thought was perfect for having on the right side of the sentiment, because when it's closed, the word celebrate alone is perfect, right? So when you open it up, you have time to celebrate. So gorgeous, gorgeousness, so fun. I love these cards. Let me show you the paper that is paired with this. It is stunning paper. You actually get a pack that is twice as thick as this. You get 8 sheets per design, but look at this paper. It actually has a foiling on it that allows the sun reflecting on the water to look shimmery. It's so amazing. There's another one. So this paper is going to debut. It's a 6x6 pack. It's going to debut on May 5th. And it just looks so much like the kit designs. So isn't that, it's just, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. This may be one of my favorite packs of paper ever. So there's that. And then here are these finished cards. And that's how you can double the kit. You still have a fun fold coming out of it, like the trifold that you get with the kit contents, but you also have extra cards. Oh, it looks like I gotta get that out of there. Little adhesive eraser. There we go. If you don't want to do these, you can totally make the kit as is, but it's an amazing kit as far as imagery goes. The laser cut images and the backgrounds and all that. I'm so glad that you like these. Thank you, Trisha. So those of you that are commenting that have little rhinestones next to your name, thank you so much for being here. A big extra thank you to you. You are the people who support my channel monetarily. We do have a live coming up for you, and I'm going to pull up my calendar so that those of you who want to see when my upcoming lives are, you can see how that goes. I'm going to go to the description of my video. I think I have to go there. Hang on. It's going to take me a minute because I clicked away. I know what I can do. Do reopen close tab. Does that give it to me? Let's see. It does. Okay, so I'm going to click in the description of the video, and you can access this too, but there is a little calendar. It says view my calendar of upcoming lives. So I'm going to do a little quick copy and paste, and we are going to go there right now and take you to my computer so you can see. So this is the date today, the 15th, right? On Friday, we're going to do another live online paper crafting class. These are all free, by the way, no charge. And then next week, we have one on the 22nd, and on the 24th is our members only live. Typically, I like to make my members only live towards the end of the month. And we couldn't do it on a Wednesday because Wednesdays are set aside for everybody and anybody. But we're doing it Friday at 7 p.m. Sometimes they're on Saturday mornings, sometimes they're on Friday mornings. It just depends on when I can fit them into my schedule. But just know that you can always click on a link and you can come back to it later on. That goes for any video, private ones or public ones. The link is still workable with the recording, even if it's considered a live video at the time. Oh, thank you, Maureen. Thank you so much, B. You guys are sweet. Thanks, Heidi. Thanks, Terry. I'm glad you like them. I just want to tell you also that we have a promotion happening right now. Stampin' Up! Has a special going on, and so I'm going to go visit my website right now so you can see how to get there, and we're going to click over to my blog, website/blog. Okay, when you're here, boy, we have a lot of things kind of showing in the background here. Here we go. You're going to go to any post, doesn't matter which post. The latest one will typically get you the latest info, but we're going to scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh, and here's the PDF. Let's just stop for a minute and click here or here. That's going to give you this. There it is. Look at that. And you can print it off. You can save it on your computer. This has all the photos, the measurements, the supplies, all that good stuff. Let's go back to the blog. Okay, we're going to move down, 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 and I want to show you that we have a special happening. That special is called Double Rewards Days. We have Double Rewards Days happening right now. Today is the 15th through the 17th. So April 15th through the 17th of 2026. When you place an order from Stampin' Up!, Stampin' Up! Is gifting you twice as many Stampin' Rewards. What's Stampin' Rewards? When you shop through Stampin' Up!, through any demonstrator, not just me, or even yourself if you are a demonstrator, you can collect Stampin' Rewards. It's kind of like Kohl's Cash, okay? So let's say you place a $50 order. You're going to get $5 in coupons to spend the next time you shop, if you want to, or you can save them and use them save them all up and use a whole bunch at once. But you can't use it on the current order that you're placing, but you can place it in you can use them on the next order, okay? They're called rewards. You have to be opted into the rewards program to use them. It's always 10% if you have a $20 order or more. Today through Friday, you get twice as much. So a $50 order is going to earn you 10 Stampin' Rewards dollars to use. It's like 20% instead of 10%. It's so cool. So I hope that you take advantage of that. If you do not have a demonstrator or you are not a demonstrator yourself, I invite you to shop through me. There is a link in the description of my video. You can click on these products that we've been showing today and you can shop and purchase those items. Yeah, or you can go to the store and purchase anything. And thank you so much if you place an order through me. If you do place an order through me and your order is $50 or more, you get the All-Star tutorial for that month, and you also get to collect loyalty points, which is my reward program. Anything else happening? Let me check here. New kits will be coming out. They usually come out around the first of the month, but it's usually the first Tuesday of the month. That will be May 5th. So you'll want to look for new kits collection kits debuting then. And I've seen a peek of them this morning. They're great. So you can check those out. The last chance list was refreshed at the beginning of this month. You'll want to see what's for sale. You can click on shop and specials, and you can shop away and see what's happening as far as products that are leaving. And I think I shared it all. I'm wearing my beach attire today, you guys. I have beach clothes on, a beach bracelet, because these cards just put me in that mood where I want to go take a trip now. So, yes, and if there's a product, like Debbie mentioned, if there's a product like the Cutest Crew bundle or something that is unavailable currently, but it's still showing in the online store, you can do the opt-in for, I think they call it notification. So you just click on that, put your email in there, click yes, you want to be notified, and you will literally get an email when that product comes back in. So, all right, yay. Have fun shopping, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you for my YouTube members. Thank you to my YouTube subscribers, which is free, right? Just subscribe to my channel. Make sure your notifications are on so that you know when I'm going live. And I hope you keep coming back for more paper crafting videos. And thank you so much, everybody. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.